Welcome back, it's your boy We jump right in where we left off. We have finally gathered enough infantry to inflict the appropriate amount of violence against our neighbors who have haunted our dreams far too long. We channel our inner beast mode and head over to Vincent's hovel, eager to test out our power level. By taking down what once we feared, we might restore some honor to our lineage. It turns out that restoring honor is a lot easier than anticipated when it came to some of the encounters, especially considering how ferocious Jewel is. At this point I decide it's time to head back down, deeper to where Meat Pipe Rafter is located and beyond. We have a few stops along the way though. First, I want to check out the shop that has opened up on the second floor. I'm not really vibing with his stock and decide to take my riz elsewhere. Secondly, it's time to put the eye cluster in Lyle's bathroom down like the dog it is.
Let's get ready to rumble!
For a second there, I was worried that the trip over here has made everybody in my party blind. Too bad I didn't have any
pocket sand
on hand to even out this fight. That being said, the eye didn't pose nearly as dire a situation as it did before. Jewel didn't waste any time gulping down the sorry bastard. I noticed that I found an eye amulet. Combine that with the teeth pendant we found earlier, I felt like we are slowly building some kind of Bahilit. I can't really remember why I decided to turn around, but it's a good thing too, otherwise I would have missed my buddy over here. Or worse, encountered him after getting taken to Pound Town by the other inhabitants. Luckily for us, it didn't seem that it wanted to bludgeon, skewer, rend, tear, or crush
By your powers combined, I am Captain Planet!
us at this very moment. He acted friendly yet aloof, coy one might say, until finally the mask slipped and its intentions lay bare. Like a stray dog, it yearned for my food. I fed it a hot candy we found under a couch or something, and it seemed to accept my offer before getting the hell out of Dodge. I course corrected, heading back deeper into the bottom floors. I craved to know what lay beyond these familiar walls. We made it down to the hallway of horror. At first, things seemed rather peaceful. However, it didn't take long for my sanity to be tested.
Holy Jesus! What is that? What the fuck is that?
We managed to outrun the crawling chaos outside and took shelter in a broom closet just to be greeted by another wizard friend. He droned on and on about a forbidden painting of the sky, possibly depicting the root of all evil. I let him ramble on for a minute while confiscating some much needed supplies before taking the party next door.
Here's Johnny!
We find the painter Frederick in his kitchen, completely freaked out. And given what we've seen, I completely understand. Frederick regales to us a story of the painting he did, the source of all evil and madness present within his apartment. I am also keenly aware of how it feels to be locked inside of your home for an extended period of time, with nothing else except my creations and schizophrenia to keep me company. He warns and insists that we don't look at it directly, as it is quite the gift giver. If by gift you mean horrible mutation and split personalities. He also mentions his friend Fabrice, which I'm sure we encountered on the hallway prior to this pleasant meeting. I grew bored of his worried personality and decided to check out the fridge. Perhaps he had some food to steal, only to be greeted by a second Frederick. Twice the Frederick, twice the headache. No, actually 10 times the headache, as I found this Fred to be extremely annoying. Nothing makes my blood boil like another drama queen. I wasted what felt like an eternity listening to him whine. But fret not, Paskhutso. This shall be rectified in the future. Proceeding deeper into his hovel, we find Fred's GameCube and a few blobs moving on the ground. However, what I didn't know was how draining this encounter would be. Perhaps not so much because of the enemy, but because of my paranoia at always wanting to be in peak physical condition. The fight started pretty normally, but this would be the first time that chemical warfare would come into play. Good thing we recruited some quality child soldiers, as even though they faced challenging battles, their wills remained steadfast.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell!
The fight was costly, but I won, proceeding onwards with my looting spree. It was at this moment that I could see the neurotoxins taking hold of my squad. I used the poison cure way too early. I forgot that I wasn't playing the Dungeon of Fear and Hunger.
Nope.
The smell of loot took us into the cupboard where we encountered Fred number 3, Paper Mache Fred. He proclaimed that he was no threat to us and even offered to help us in our journey by providing valuable aid. I took a chance and agreed to his offer. He started butchering us and even recovered some health in the process. I might keep this Fred around as he is actually useful and not nearly as annoying as the other ones. At this point I felt like I've seen enough and wanted to save as certain death seemed to be right around the next corner. And I mean right around the next corner. I used the high BPM of my heart to reach the safety of the apartment turned kindergarten in record time. After locking in some progress, I thought I would spend some time playing Super Jump Lads with the troops. These fine warriors have certainly earned their R&R. It started getting dark outside, and with that came the night shift. I thought about how I should end the day and decided that doing some final rounds before catching some shut-eye would be a valuable use of my time. I decided to see how Jean was holding up. Turns out, not great. Not great for me either after getting flashed like that. Oh well, just another day at this point, I guess. I spent some time just listening to her problems and discussing the laundry issue before she mentioned something about planet disc locks, which is connected to the rope folk. I think I'm going to have to take this puzzle in the background seriously if I want to continue. We made it back to the hallway of horror and started searching for a few new leads. We found a creepy little room that contained a mouth on the far end of the room. However, its desire for children led me to believe that this might be an Epstein client. As I didn't have a child to offer the mouth, I left in a hurry and then finally got to meet who I assumed to be Fabrice. At this point, running away means nothing to me, as it always turned out to be the wrong choice in the rock, paper, scissors daddy's life. I decided to hold my ground and channel my inner rat exterminator, but as you can see, that didn't mean shit. I braced for a long and tough fight ahead, but it seemed like my fate was already decided for me.
It was at this moment he knew. He fucked up.
This enemy is honestly, at this point at least, just as hard as I thought it would be. I hate being a wet blanket, but I don't think we'll be seeing this one through, boys. I will be back again next time with a new series as we'll be playing Schedule 1. I still plan on finishing the Look Outside series, but I'm gonna do some new things here and there. Thanks so much for watching, drop a like and subscribe, and see you all again very soon.